It's your host, Emily, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my podcast. If you're new here, welcome to JHGB, Grow Higher, Grow Better podcast. And guys, we made it. I've been saying this for all time, okay? It's before maybe January, since 2026 has started, that we are close to 1 year. We're close to 1 year. And guess what? 1 year has come. Yeah. Grow Higher, Grow Better made 1 year. Oh my gosh, my little baby has already 1 year. And all of this thanks to you. Thanks to you guys. Yeah. Because if it wasn't you, oh my gosh, I wouldn't make it that far. I wouldn't make it that far, literally. And I've chosen the episode of today for a specific reason. Okay, because I've grown. I already said it 1,000 times, guys, but I've grown with this podcast. I've grown with you with every single episode. I've thought about it, throughout the script. Like, even in the worst period of my life, I had something to talk about. I had something to speak about. I had something to tell you guys. Okay. And that's really what made me growing. Okay. That's really what made me an adult. And yeah, today's episode is about adulthood. And don't blame me. I'm just 19. So who am I for talking about adulthood? But I am into it and I'm feeling like it. Okay. Because adulthood sometimes don't feel like you're immature enough or you have already experienced it. No. But before you start, remember to like subscribing to notification every single time I post a video. Don't forget also to check out my social media platforms so you miss anything that poster. And if you are new here, you can listen to this episode on Spotify or on YouTube on the specific channel called Grow Higher, Grow Better. That is not on MB, but it's a specific one that you can find, of course, on YouTube. So we're gonna get into by starting saying that there comes a point in your life where motivation stopped working, where quotes don't hit the same, where scroll and nothing really moves you anymore. Like, guys, that feeling like something that you've lost on your drive because you have a grown surface level aspiration. Okay. And suddenly you find yourself sitting in your own throats more than before, asking yourself questions that don't have easy answers. Like, who am I really right now? Who am I really becoming? And is this life I'm building actually aligned with who I feel I could be? No one prepares me for that. No one prepares you for that moment. No one tells you that adulthood doesn't start when you turn a certain age. It doesn't start when you feel like you've experienced it enough. It doesn't start when you feel like you are mature. Okay? It starts when you begin to see your life clearly. Without filters, without illusions, without distractions, without clarity. And that is so powerful. But it's also heavy sometimes. Because once you see, you can go back to not seeing. Once you understand your patterns, your potential, your habits, your excuses, you can't pretend anymore. And that's where everything shifts. That's where you realize that no one is coming to save you. Not because people don't care, but because your life was never meant to be lived by someone else in the first place. And that relation that can feel lonely, especially when you're young, especially when you're 19, such as me. And your mind feels 10 years old ahead for your environment. When you look around the people, so you're like experimenting, still drifting, we can say still moving without pressure, and you feel like this internal urgency, this quiet voice that doesn't let you stay still for too long. It keeps you reminding that you're capable of more, that you're meant for more, and sometimes you wish you didn't feel it, sometimes you wish you could just relax, just follow the flow, just be like everyone else. But the truth is that you can't. Because once you've connected with that version of yourself, even for a second, even a glimpse, you can't disconnect from it anymore. And that's not pressure. That's our awareness. That's vision. And vision changed everything because it forced you to move differently, to think differently, to choose differently, even when it's uncomfortable and it's not understood by others. And I won't lie to you guys, it's confusing sometimes, okay? It's really, really confusing because you feel strong at the start and at the same time, but you feel disciplined and also tired. You feel clear about where you want to go, but not always sure how to get there. And you start to realize that growth is not that clean. Aesthetic process that people show online, it's messy, it's quiet, it's repetitive. It's showing up on days where nothing feels exciting, where nothing feels rewarding, where you question if what you're doing is even working, is even valuable, is even worth it, and still deciding to continue. Not because you're guaranteed results, but because stopping will feel like betraying yourself. And that's the part I want to talk about. The internal commitment, the silent agreement you make with yourself to keep going, even when no one is watching, even no one is validating you, even when people doubt you or don't take you seriously because of your age, of your position, of your career results. And trust me, guys, I really felt that. I still feel it. Feeling like I'm carrying a mindset that doesn't match how people perceive me, especially those that are my age. Think like I have to prove myself more just to be seen at the same level. And for a moment, it makes you question yourself. It makes you wonder if maybe you're doing too much. If maybe you should slow down. Just leave your age, okay? Slow down, you're just 20. Shrink a little, adapt to what's expected to you. But then you realize something very simple. Shrinking doesn't bring you happiness. It brings you a frustration. It brings you deep down, you know, that you're meant to expand, and expansion is uncomfortable. It requires you to grow version of yourself, habits, environments, even people sometimes. And that can feel isolating because not everyone will understand your pace. Not everyone will resonate with your mindset. Okay. And that's okay because your journey was never meant to be identical to theirs. And that's what adulthood teaches you, that yourself, your life isn't the same as others. You don't have to repeat what they do. Okay? Adulthood teaches you that your path is your responsibility. Your decisions are your responsibility. Your growth is your responsibility. You're not left. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not too early. You are on your time. That's your life. And your life has time. Okay? And that's not something to fear. It's something to own, because the moment you take full responsibility for your life, you also take full control of it. And control doesn't mean having everything figured out, of course. In everything, literally, career, love, relationships. You don't have to have figured out everything. You just have to choose your direction, even when the road is unclear, even when you trust yourself not that enough to keep moving forward, despite uncertainty, despite fear, despite doubt. Most of all, fear that is always there, especially when you're stepping into something bigger that you were used to do, especially when you're becoming someone you've never been before. But fear is not a stop sign. It is a signal that you're growing, that you're most of the time on the right path, that you're stepping outside on what's familiar. It has never been hard. It has just been new. And instead of running from it, you learn to move with it, to carry it without letting you in control with you. And that's maturity. Okay, not the absence of fear, of course, but the ability to act despite it. And I'm still learning that, of course, because I'm just 19 years old, still learning this. But I know that I am in the middle of process, that I don't have everything figured out, of course. I don't wake up every day feeling confident and certain, such as maybe a 60 years old man that has already figured out everything. But let me be honest. Actually, there's no human beings that has figured out everything. There are days where I doubt myself, when even the 60 years old man doubt himself, where I feel overwhelmed, where I question if I'm really capable of building the life that I see in my mind. But then I remind myself that confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you build through actions, through consistency. Because that's something that I really, really understood, is that the brain believes, but it actually sees in actions. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but you just cannot say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, keep dreaming without taking actions, because your brain will never believe it. Okay, it will believe only if he see the actions. Something that you build through action, something that you build through consistency, something that you build through showing up again and again until your actions start to align with your vision, and slowly, without even noticing it, then it's when you become someone different. And not overnight, but through small decisions repeated over time. And one day you look back and you realize you're no longer the same person who started. And that's what adulthood really is. It's not a sudden transformation, and we can say that it's gradual evolution. It's becoming the person you needed when you were young. It's giving yourself the structure, the discipline, the guidance that you once looked for outside, and that doesn't mean you have to lose your softness, your emotions. It just means you learn how to balance them with responsibility, with awareness, with intention. You learn how to be both strong and gentle, both driven by a human, both focused and present. And that balance is what I'm learning to build. Because I don't want to become someone who only works and forgets how to lead. And I don't want to become someone who only lives and forgets to build. I want both, 50-50. I want to grow and still feel, to build and still experience, to move forward and still appreciate where I am. And that's a process. It's not something you're perfect, but it's something you practice every single day through choices that seem small, but shape everything. And maybe right now, it feels like nothing is happening, but maybe it feels like your efforts are invisible, like your progress is slow, like you're doing everything alone. But trust me, one day, nothing you're doing is wasted. Every step, every effort, every moment of discipline is building something that you cannot see yet. But one day it will show not just the results, but in who you've become. and how you think, how you move, how you handle life. And that's the real success. Not just you achieve, but who you become in the process. And if you're in that phase right now, where you feel like you're between, not where you used to be, but not yet where you want to be, just know that this phase is for you. That this uncertainty, this pressure, this growth, is all part of becoming. Okay? This journey is starting, and it's starting in a great way. And again, you're not late, you're not behind, you're not doing it wrong. You're just in the middle of your own life, of your own evolution, of your own time. And it's okay if it doesn't make sense yet. If it's okay, if it feels heavy sometimes, and you're allowed to feel everything that comes with growth, and you're allowed to be strong and still feeling tired, to be confused and still feel lost sometimes. But that doesn't take away from your path. It's a part of it. And the only thing that really matters is that you don't stop, that you don't abandon, that yourself in the process, that you keep choosing yourself over growth on your future again and again, even on the days where you will be easier not to. Because at the end of the day, adulthood is not about giving or having everything under control. It's about taking ownership. It's about deciding that no matter what happens, no matter how you feel, no matter how long it takes, you're going to become everything you needed, not in the perfect way, effortlessly, but intentionally, step by step, day by day, choice by choice. And yeah, that's it. I don't know, guys, how many of you has felt this word. Okay, I don't know how many of you have felt this word, but I did. And I'm sure that even 1% of you did too. And all I'm going to say to you guys is thank you for this amazing year. We're going to make it so far again. Okay. I'm seeing Hiker grow better in 10 years. And I hope that every single episode that I made till now was profitable and has shifted you, even in the smallest way ever, but has just left something in your heart. And all I want to say to you guys every single time, as I always do, is to thank you so much for listening to this episode today. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, that's it. Love you all.